is Jen from Cookies, Cupcakes, and Cardio.com, and I have my baking prodigy Paityn with me again today.
Hi.
She has agreed to come on a backpack baking adventure. Are you excited?
Yes, I think so.
She's not quite sure what she signed up for, and I'm not quite sure if I want her to come around or come on it with us because I imagine you're going to go straight up that hill so fast.
I don't know about that.
So once we get up the hill, it's a short little walk to a beautiful scenic overlook that we have nearby. And we're going to be making 3 different kinds of mug cakes.
The kinds of mug cakes we're going to be making are the Oreo, the classic Oreo one, a chocolate Oreo one, and a Funfetti Oreo one.
I love the Funfetti one.
So do I.
So we're going to pack up our backpacking oven, but first we're going to show you how to make these 3 different mug cakes because you can also do them at home without a backpacking oven. Mm-hmm. You can do them in the microwave and you can do them here in your own kitchen, just like this. So let's get started on this tutorial. So the recipe before you here is the base ingredients. So what we're going to need is to replicate this 3 different times, and we're going to add in a couple of extras to each of the recipes, and we'll show you all of those after we go through the base.
So the first one is 1.5 tablespoons of vegetable oil, 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla, and 1/4 cup of milk.
And we're also going to be using 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder, 2 tablespoons of granulated sugar, and 1/4 cup of flour. So we've got our base ingredients here, and we also have a standard size mug, which is about 250 milliliters, around there. You can use any size of mug as long as it's at least a cup big, because if you put too much of the ingredients in, then your mug will overflow and it will be a big huge mess. We don't want a big mess. So I'm going to put all of my ingredients in here first. And I'm going to just start with all the dry here. So I got the flour in there, the sugar, need a little help on that one. And you can, the cool thing about this is that you can do it all in a mug, or you can of course do it in a separate bowl if you want to. I'm making a giant mess with this mug. There we go. Good thing we can clean it up. Good thing I got Paityn here to clean it up, right?
Yeah.
And my baking powder. And then all of my liquid, so my oil is in there now, and my milk. And as you can see, you can totally do this with kids of all ages, and it's absolutely easy to do. Make a mess and just clean it up. So Paityn's going to stir that up, and then we're going to work on our first mug. So the first mug cake we're going to make with our base is the chocolate one. So to make the chocolate Oreo mug cake, you're going to need to add 1 tablespoon of cocoa powder to the base and 2 crushed Oreos, or chopped, however you want to kind of make them. So you're still good with stirring? Mm-hmm. Okay, so I'm going to try to get this in there a little bit neater than my flour. There we go. So if you just want to stir that up, and while you're stirring the mug cakes, you just kind of want to make sure that you get most of the lumps out, and just keep going nice and slow because it is kind of a small container, and using it, if you're working with a really small kid, you might want to use a bigger bowl or something, just because it is kind of tricky to get it all mixed into a little mug, but it's way less dishes. Do you like doing the dishes?
Nope.
That's the worst part of baking, isn't it?
It is.
So now she's got that mostly mixed in, so I'm going to put in my Oreo chunks, like that. And there we go, all of the good stuff. And mix those in, and that is the recipe for the chocolate Oreo mug cake.
So now we're moving on to the second Oreo mug cake, which is a Funfetti version. What you're going to be needing for this one is 2 crushed Oreos, 1 tablespoon of flour, 1/4 teaspoon of almond extract, and 2 teaspoons of sprinkles.
My favorite thing about this one is definitely the sprinkles.
Yes, me too.
So into the base, do you want to give me the flour and the almond extract? Can you get it in there neater than me? Oh, yep, good job. Oh, I just love you. You're so talented.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, and the extract. And I'll stir this up. Now, if you really don't like almond, or you can't have it for whatever reason, you can just double the vanilla, or you can just leave it out. So sprinkles, you know what? Let's put the sprinkles last, because sometimes they run. Have you ever had that? Yeah. Mm-hmm. These ones are whatever kind they are. don't run very much has been my experience, but like the ones that are the little teeny tiny balls and the little jimmies, the long skinny ones, those ones tend to run a lot. So that's why I'm using those ones in this recipe. Okay, so give me those. There we go. Perfect. And let's stir that up. And then we have our Funfetti mug cake ready for the oven as well.
So now we're going to move on to our third and final Oreo mug cake, which is the traditional cookies and cream one. What you're going to be needing for this one is 2 crushed Oreos and 1 tablespoon of flour. Nice and simple.
Totally simple, and like for traditional lovers, definitely what they're gonna like, hey?
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got the flour in there. Sorry I just stole your job.
I'm so mad at you.
Will you please forgive me?
No.
Stirring this to get rid Stirring this to get rid of most of the little lumps that are in here. You can use a fork too if you don't have these little mini spatulas, but if you need something that's like the handiest baking gift, totally buy these mini spatulas. They're so handy for so many things.
And they're so cute.
They are too, hey? They're adorable. Okay, so I'm gonna mix these Oreo cookies up into this one. And I kind of like to be a little bit rough with this one because the more chunks there are in this cake, it looks so much more like cookies and cream, I find. So we're going to pack up these mugs into our backpacks and we're going to head out on the trail. Are you ready for the hike, Paityn?
I hope so.
Did you bring your hiking boots?
Nope. I brought my flip-flops.
Well, I guess we're going to be stopping at your house.
Yep.
Okay, well, we will see you guys from the trail. So hi again, everybody. We have made it up the trail. It was about a couple kilometers, do you think? Yeah, a little bit is like flat and a little bit uphill. So I hope you guys enjoyed the views of the pictures that we were able to get for our traveling up the hill. So what we're going to do is preheat the oven. Now, if you're doing this at home, you can do it in your oven and you wanted to get it to 350 degrees Fahrenheit.
You can also do it in the microwave for about 60 to 90 seconds.
So yeah, so microwave or the regular traditional oven. We're gonna do it in our backpacking oven. So we're gonna let it come up to temperature and then we will put the mugs in and let you see that too. So the oven is preheated to 350 degrees. You can probably hear it in the background. That's the propane fuel. And so I'm just going to open it up and then slip my mugs in here and put them in like this. And they're going to bake for 30 minutes. So the mugs have cooled slightly. You want to enjoy them when they're still warm, but you don't want to eat them when they're too hot because you might, burn your mouth or something.
Yes, so now we're going to add a little bit extra of some decoration with a little bit of white icing piped on top.
Beautiful, and I'm going to follow Paityn's icing with like a little extra Oreo here. And these are all optional, of course, and just gives it a little bit more of a little kind of a fancy look. So we finished off the tops of the mug cakes, but totally optional. You definitely don't need to add that because they look really good without it, don't you think?
Yes, for sure. It was super easy, lots of fun, and great to do with kids.
Great to do with kids, only being able to mix everything in a mug, that makes it so easy. And definitely if you chose to do it in the microwave, it'd be that much easier for kids too, hey?
Yes, for sure.
So there you go, everybody, how to make 3 different Oreo mug cakes. And you can do them in the microwave at home, or you can take them out backpack baking like we did. And you can also, of course, make them at your house in your own oven if you choose to do it that way.
They were lots of fun to make. The most important question, though, is, did you bring forks?
No, didn't you?
No.
How are you going to eat these?
With our fingers.
Okay. Thanks for watching, guys. It's going to get a little messy now, so we will see you all again next time.
Bye.
Bye.